Okay, so a while back, I made a video talking about One Punch Man and how great it was. And in that video, I stated that I liked One Punch Man Season 2, and that there would be a video coming out talking about that. But I had to postpone it. Mostly due to a bunch of stuff that was happening in both my personal life and my YouTube life. But regardless, I'm back now, and we just hit 600 subs, which I can't thank you for enough, so I'm gonna make a video. And by all means, if you guys don't agree with this, that's okay. These are just my opinions. You guys don't have to like the same things I do. Now heads up, this video is gonna go in order of how I feel things were handled in Season 2. Mainly from what I feel was handled worst to what I feel was handled best. And with all that out of the way, I hope you'll consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing if you haven't already, and enjoy the video for what it is. Yeah, so for those who have already watched Season 2 and probably already know what I'm going to talk about, skip ahead to this number if you don't want to hear about all that stuff. But for those of you who don't, let me give you a quick backstory. See, after the Season 2 trailer was officially released to the public, many complained that the animation style was stiff, weird, and ultimately an insult to the first season's great animation. It was then revealed later to the public that for some weird reason that's probably been explained many times in many different YouTube videos, that the animation department was being switched over to a different studio, and thus they could not capture the greatness of the animation that was the first season. But it's not the animation company's fault. They did their best, and they actually made a lot of successful anime adaptations. And while it isn't the same style, it was in a very interesting arc. And as I'll explain multiple times throughout this video, there are some really good parts in this season. And much like everyone else, I'm not for the animation in Season 2. But for what it's worth, we did get something good. So while it is the worst thing on this list, I ultimately don't mind it. Just a quick heads up, I'm going to be judging this from the English dub standpoint, so if you're not a fan of that, skip over to the next part. But for those of you who are, I think the English dub is good. It's not as the same as the Season 1 English dub, but it's a close second. While I do wish a certain line had a redo here and there, ultimately, it's good. I can understand what the characters are feeling, and I can sympathize with them at certain times. And it doesn't really necessarily bother me, even though it's from a different company. So, strangely enough, if you have the chance, watch the anime in its English dub. While it may not be as good as Season 1, I feel it's a close second. Okay, so the only reason why I'm putting both of these at 3 is because I felt like they were pretty much one and the same. I feel like both of them were handled very well, and honestly, for what it's worth, although it's not everything that I wanted, it is legitimately really good. We got to see new aspects of the story that we hadn't seen before, as well as the world, and the characters are pretty much going through the exact same amount of growth and are growing to be more likable. I couldn't tell you all the times I felt really emotional whenever I was in a scene with Moomin Rider and he was fighting Goru and a bunch of other villains, or with King and his backstory and how he had to deal with his life, living with this lie. And the best part about this whole thing is that the plot does not bring down anything about the characters. In fact, it pretty much does the exact opposite from what everyone would expect. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but whenever a Season 2 comes around, I feel like it's a little bit degrading from certain aspects. Sure, the plot is good, but ultimately I feel like many characters don't have enough screen time, or they're just not really given any good scenarios to work with. Now, there are a few exceptions, of course, but I was mainly worried about this one considering, the animation change. But ultimately, somehow it worked. Not only did we get to expand on certain characters that we loved in the first season, but we also get introduced to a bunch of other ones that didn't have time to grow in the first season. And they're really, really good. Like that other robot that was with all the Class S heroes when they had to defeat the aliens at the end of Season 1. I really kinda wanted to see more of him, and I'm glad that he got his moment in Season 2. I also really love Shio. Sure, he's not in Season 1, but almost every scene that he's in Season 2 pretty much makes up for his absence in Season 1. And ultimately, I can't really wait to see what happens next, even though there won't be a Season 3 and I'm catching up with the manga right now, as of this recording. Okay, this one may confuse some of you, but let me explain. Remember how in the first video I talked about how One Punch Man has the perfect blend of both comedy and action? Well, that's what I mean here when I say balance. And that's really what I feel is possibly the most important thing about the One Punch Man series. As long as they can keep that amazing flow of both comedy and action being flipped on a dime, then pretty much everything will work. I was worried that it wasn't going to be the same thing, what with the change and all, but honestly, for what it's worth, they gave us some decent expressions to work with the animation and characters. Although it's not the same as the first season, I can clearly tell that they've tried, and it's pretty much nearly identical, so I'll let it pass. Oh, sorry. I'm just clapping at the awesomeness that is Goru, because nothing else will tell me otherwise. Where do I even begin with this character? This is something I have never seen, or at least if I have, I've never seen it done like this before. In my mind, Goru is one of the best one of the best media villains of all time. So much so that I could make a single video just dedicated all to him and why he's possibly the best. No, why he is the best villain in all of media. And you know what? No, I am gonna do that. Just wait and see. And if I'm overselling it, I don't care. Because I firmly believe this is one of the best villains of all time. And I will fight you to the death on it. Everything about this character, I feel, is perfect. His reveal, amazing. His backstory, shattering. Everything he does and every action that he does is supported by his belief, and I am 100% behind him, no matter what he does. The only reason I'm not going into great detail right now is because I don't even want to talk about how great he is. And also because I wanted to keep this video as spoiler-free as possible for everyone. I want all of you, when you're done watching this video, to just watch One Punch Man Season 2, regardless of whether you have the English dub or not, and just enjoy every moment with Goru and everything else that I've talked about today. That is, if you can. I heard from a friend that he can't find the English dub or any form of One Punch Man Season 2, but I honestly don't care. Please, watch One Punch Man Season 2, and watch every scene with Goru in it. Because I guarantee you, you've never seen a villain like this. Well, at least in my mind, anyway. And there we go. Those are 5 reasons why One Punch Man Season 2 is good. At least in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please feel free to give me feedback on whether you agreed or disagreed with my opinions. And in case you want a takeaway, here's the bottom line. While I don't fully believe that One Punch Man Season 2 is as good as Season 1, for what it's worth, we got something decently good. Now, I'm not detracting at all from Season 2. If anything, I think it's okay. I don't think it's better, but I don't think it's worse. Like I said in the One Punch Man video, it's in the middle point, and it does what it needs to do. And for what it's worth, we got some really good stuff out of it, in my opinion. So yeah, that's it. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time, and please feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later.